We're gonna talk about new technologies. Fashion and technology is also like always really involved into each other because well, you need technology to make fabric, to make samples, to make clothing, everything. How they use technology, the fashion industry is still quite outdated. Fashion is really fast, except in the development of new technologies incorporated with clothing, for example, doesn't go that fast, unfortunately. For example, like the Chanel show, they had like LED lights in their bags, and that was like technology. Wow, not today and not tomorrow. And it's also like Deutsche Bank made like phone cases, and like the models made selfies on the runway. Very original, very now, but that's not technology incorporated in any sense. But it's also more watch to the catwalk. But nowadays there is still a lot of things happening on the catwalk. For example, everybody knows the iconic performance of the car spray painters on the dress during the Alexander McQueen show. But what is way more recently and what is very innovative and a very future technique reach is Iris van Herpen. I can say it in a Dutch way. Probably people will be thinking, what does he say? Iris van Herpen. That's how the rest pronounces. Um, she's really keen on using new materials and using technology as a new tool to make garments. And I think she's really clever in that way. And during one of her shows, literally a model was laying down and a dress was 3D modeled over her. So during the show, a new garment was ready to make. And she also uses a lot of laser cut, latex, and non conventional materials on bodies, but still make it wearable. And that's a really interesting and cool principle. So for me, like the material development is way more a future technique than LEDs in a bag. Because of the speed and everything, it's harder to develop real new inventive materials for your garments. But recent, I think 4 seasons ago, there was also models are used a lot of times also as a performance piece. Models are walking obviously the catwalk, but nowadays models also have to do like an extra step. They don't only have to walk; they also have to like dance or whatsoever. But during a fashion show, I will put the name in it because I cannot pronounce it properly. Um, he had garments that were water iridescent. So the moment water hit the models, the dresses shape shifted. And that was also such a new innovative way of using materials, and nobody really saw it coming. That's also the future because of these new material researches and new ways of using uh, laser cut 3D printing on garments. The world can become a way more sustainable. There is like the post couture collection, and I think from all the pieces they made, there is like 2% waste because they make connections like this. They will just like click into each other and it holds and it lasts. It's such a durable material and it's all laser cutted and it's all customly made for one person. And it's well customly made. They only make one if you order one, and it's all it's a one size fits all, so it's never weird shapes that are left over. And I think that's a really, really good step in the future of sustainable living, sustainable material use, and a perfect way to use these new techniques for garments. And for example, Bart Hess is not a fashion designer in no single way. He's a material developer and a future trendsetter in a way. He's really keen on trying out using really easy materials to say so, but gives him such a new special treating that it's used on the body. He made like the slime dress for Lady Gaga. It was just slime, but it gave such a new dimension to the world of fashion that you could really shape something and slime over its body. It moved, it bred, it had everything. And of course there are like tissue that's breathing and like clothing, like sports clothing that's breathing and like non-sweaty, la la la. That's innovative. Like it's also really useful, but it's not yet tipping. It's there's still like a tipping point to be reached in the fashion industry, and I think to look to different kind of areas. For example, Bart Hess as a artist that can really help to go one step further. And he also literally this spring summer collection of Chanel. He made one of the textiles that was used in the show, and it was plastic. And like he made and thought about the materials, and they used it in their show. And it was that's like the gap gets smaller between fashion, art, and technology. Merge them. But a lot of designers are quite still afraid to use non-conventional materials or go one step further in the future. So I think our school, Chelsea Design Academy, is really responsible for the new wave of daring and no waste production, because it's the technology phase in fashion or textiles is still not really ready.